Well, that's a little embarrassing. I have been live streaming my face for the last, I don't know, how long have we been live? 9, almost 10 minutes. That was supposed to be a title graphic. It's supposed to be this title graphic. Well, hey, good morning, and welcome to our Chill Bible Study stream. I'll have to cut that down on YouTube so that I don't look like a moron. Let me pop my headphones in here. We are just doing a chill Bible study, Ask Me Anything stream. Nothing too crazy, just reading through the book of Numbers. Putting my phone on Do Not Disturb because the work chat is blowing up. And we're going through this Bible reading plan. You can find it in the Bible resources link down below. We're in chapter 31 of Numbers out of 36, so we might finish it today. Following this plan, if you do one checkbox a week, should get you through the Bible in 3 years. So that's pretty exciting. I'm bringing something back this time that I used to do. I used to do a coffee chat stream. I have my coffee, but instead of biscotti, I found these tea biscuits. They are much better health-wise. I can have 6 little biscuits for the price of 1 biscotti, so that's pretty sweet. If you want to join live on Zoom, you can scan this QR code, or there's a link in the description down below. So, we're just going to read through the book of Numbers. I'm going to have my coffee and tea biscuits. I don't know if that's a little sacrilegious or not. It's not bad. And we'll just hang out. Feel free to drop any questions in the chat, or if you want to join on Zoom, you can. Alright. Let's start reading. That was hot. The slaughter of Midian. Ooh, starting out rough. Is there a reason they're killing the Midianites? It's been a minute. Let's call back to Numbers 25. Yes, the Midianites were getting the Israelites to sacrifice to their gods. It's weird. We get 16, 17, 18, 29, 30. 5 chapters of census, basically. And stuff about offerings and laws in between what the Midianites do to Israel and then Israel getting vengeance, is what my translation says. So if you were just reading chapter 31 by itself, it would seem really out of place. Context. Who knew? So they killed the men, captured the women and children, plundered all of their cattle, flocks, and goods, and then burned the cities. Brought them to Moses and Eleazar. Moses was angry with the officers and said, "Have you spared all the women? These are the ones that caused this mess." Kill every male child and every woman who has been intimate with a man. This is rough stuff. My first thought is wondering if this actually lines up with what God commanded, because Moses is saying all this, but we'll have to compare. Anyone who hasn't, any of the girls who have not known a man intimately, spare for yourselves. Don't like that. Oof. And then go through all the purity stuff. Purify yourselves. And then pass it through fire and water, or anything. Any of the gold, silver, iron, tin, and lead. Pass through the fire to be purified. Shall pass through the water. So it looks like this is at least the first that I'm seeing of. Well, I guess Israel passed through the water. Moses passed through the water in his basket. Noah passed through the water in the boat. But this is the first reference that's caught my eye of something passing through the water to be purified, which is a precursor to baptism. Right? You go down, you come back up. Purified. Baptism. Okay, what did God actually say to do? Arm the men, go to war, execute the lords. Oh wait, no. He said, take full vengeance for the sons of Israel on the Midianites, and then you'll be gathered to your people. Take full vengeance. Leaves some wiggle room, unfortunately. And then Moses seems to kind of just like improvise from there. Moses is saying this is the Lord's vengeance. I don't know how semantic this is, but God doesn't say take my vengeance out on the people, but he says take vengeance for the sons of Israel. Right the wrong. They killed all the kings, all the men, captured the women and the children and all their stuff, burned the cities. Killed the woman who had been married, and every male child, and then kept the rest for themselves. That's gross. And I'm not quite sure how much of that falls under God saying, take full vengeance. Seems pretty full, right? But is that eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth? God says to take account of everything that was captured, both of man and of animal. They split up everything they captured. They offer sacrifices. They go through the numbers of everything that was captured: cattle, donkeys, women, sheep. And then how much was given to the Lord. What does it mean that 32 persons were the Lord's levy? The cattle and stuff I get. What happens with those 32 women? Interesting. Well, just because it doesn't sit right with me doesn't mean it didn't happen like that. I don't understand the context from the perspective of it happening historically. All I can read with is my own perspective and, as best as possible, understand why. The Midianites deceiving, drawing away the Israelites warrants the destruction of their people. Let's go ahead and look at commentary, maybe. See if we find something that provides a little more context so that I can breathe a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. possible that the Midianites, as descendants of Abraham, should have known better. And so they are more guilty and rendered themselves a more severe punishment. The destruction of the Midianites is inconsistent with the justice of the goodness of God. Who deny they use absolute control of the hands. Yeah, it doesn't make it feel any better though. Ugh. That's Ellicott's commentary. What else do we have? Called Revenge of Jehovah in Numbers 31:3 because violated the divinity and honor of God. They also are responsible for Balaam. That's right. It's interesting that the Moabites received a lesser punishment because their iniquity was not yet full, which tells me they haven't fallen completely off the map, where Midian must have, by comparison. It's a disheartening reality, but it's also how the world worked at that point. Each nation had their warrior god, and the strength of your god was determined by how many battles you won and how many people groups you wiped out. It just doesn't feel good in a more modern setting, because we're not fighting and farming and farming and fighting. Yeah. Okay, chapter 32. Reuben and Gad have a lot of livestock. Interesting. They like that the land is good for livestock. They're like, we have livestock. Give us the land and do not take us into the promised land. Moses says, shall your brothers go to war while you sit here? The Lord's anger burned. We really only see that when the people of Israel really mess up. We get the phrase again, the Lord's anger burned. Add still more burning to the anger of the Lord. Seeing a pattern here? They want to settle towards the east of the Jordan, which, if you'll remember, is whenever we move east, we're farther from God. Send your army until the land is subdued. And then this land shall be yours. Alright. I just wrapped up chapter 32, and, chat, I'm not feeling too great. I think I'm going to wrap things up early and hopefully bounce back for next week's stream. So, thank you to everyone who tuned in, and we're just going to wrap things up there.